Welcome back everyone to Hades Tech. I'm your host Hades, and in this video we're going to explain on how to think like a data analyst. All right, so in order to think like a data analyst, you have to first understand what a data analyst even does. Okay, so a data analyst does multiple things, right? But we'll go ahead and we'll keep it very brief on this topic, considering there's a lot that we need to cover in terms of like how we see things different. Okay, so in terms of data analysts, the prime thing that you're going to do is you're going to first understand the problem that's at hand, the problem that is asked of you. All right, so let's say for example you get a request in an email Monday morning, and a project manager is like, hey, we need to find out information from 2008 to 2015 of how many projects were successful, how many were denied, how many were stalled, and what was the reason behind those. So, all right, you got what you need to in terms of basically the requirements, okay, of what you're looking at that you need to grab in terms of data. Okay, so the following question that you would have is, great, so what do we want to see out of all this? What's the end goal? Sure, we know the information that we want to pull, but what's the end goal of that? And from what I've seen, 9 out of 10 times, the manager, the people leader, whatever you want to call it, okay, will honestly be more engaging towards you, will be a lot more, maybe happy isn't necessarily the word, considering I guarantee they got quite a bit on their workload. So I would say they become a little bit more vested in the entire conversation, rather than it just being a demand. Now it becomes a conversation that's not only beneficial for you as the analyst, but also beneficial for them and for what they're trying to complete to be able to send to whoever. Okay, so once you find out what the overall goal is that they're looking to accomplish, from there you can go ahead and take the information and find out where's the single source of truth for that data, extract that information, transform it, clean it, the whole list, and then load it into whatever, Tableau, Power BI, you name it. From there, you're able to take that information and then create dashboards and whatever else information that you see fit based on those requirements. All right, so in a nutshell, that's what a data analyst is going to do. And sure, we could go ahead and include certain tools and techniques and all the rest of the stuff, but just keep it very basic. You're going to go ahead and you're going to use a lot of the times you're going to use SQL, Excel, Power BI, or Tableau, I recommend learning both. And sometimes you'll also use like Salesforce. It depends. All right, Salesforce, I see in popularity, is starting to grow a little bit, so just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Another thing that I would recommend for individuals to know as a data analyst would be Python. Just the basics. Don't get too excited now and just leave. All right, so just learn the basics of Python in terms of fetching data and how to clean data better, and just basic things of that nature. Okay, now now that you have a good picture of what a data analyst does, in a broad sense, okay? Now what you're gonna know or need to know is the fact of how we see things differently, how we see the world differently, okay? As data analysts, it just like in the title, right? It's gonna be one of those things to where you analyze everything. Like on accident, you analyze everything. Some analyze things in depth more than others. And if you grab 10 different analysts, you'll probably get close to 10 different answers, right? Because every analyst handles things a little bit different. They have procedures that are a little bit different. For the most part, in terms of, our ETL methods, some of it might be very structured, routine, but the overall compass of things, a lot of times is different, okay? So that's overall how you're gonna go ahead and see the world as an analyst, is you're gonna really analyze everything. Example, an example that I could think of would be buying an electric vehicle, all right, in, let's say, Alaska, okay? So overall, how an analyst is gonna think of things in regards to that would be, all right, first, can the grid sustain it? Let's say, for example, of all of Alaska goes ahead and decides to buy electric vehicles. Can their grid sustain it? Another thing would be like costs of having that vehicle. Another thing could be a factor of maintenance on that vehicle. What's the average mileage that you get over a time span of X years? And within this product of car, what are the potential issues that it faces in X amount of years based on the year that you bought it? The list goes on, right? So overall, all of that's just analyzing things. So as a data analyst, that's how you're going to start to think. You're just really going to start analyzing everything in the world in general. It's just going to become natural, not even something that you have to second think. So that's just something to keep in mind for your future, especially for you entry-level individuals or those just curious on data analytics, all right? But that concludes this video, so that way we don't end up running into like 15, 20 minutes, because this is something that I could really dive deep in detail to. And once again, this is something that I really don't see too much on YouTube being spoke about. It's usually like the overall topics of, how to become a data analyst in 2025, 26, 27, what are the tools used for a data analyst, just real basic stuff. But we are going to get down to the nitty gritty, so that way it helps you. All right. So once again, that concludes this video officially this time. So until next time, everyone, take care.